Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Makakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them to tell us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word of truth and sincerity and hopeful and light tabernacle of David, to the Aqua that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000 and one third, the hopeful elect of Israel. From the brother Yeshua, shalom to you all. All right, so I've been watching this guy, and I knew that this day was coming. You could just tell, how a man moves, especially you've been in this thing, let's just say 10 years. You should be able to see these guys coming. Now, this is an old bottle, right? And who's out of order and despises order. He wants to come in at the top. And I sympathize with him because I struggle being an older gentleman, right? I came in at like 45, right? And I'm 60, you do the math. Anyway, it's harder for an older man who was raised in this world, right? Raised in Babylon, so to speak, right? To just to relinquish the authority of being an older man, right? It's hard to come in, right? And have somebody be above you that you might perceive as being younger or whatever the case may be, right? So I get it, okay? But there's a lot going on here. There's a lot, okay? You could be an order, and for an older man to see a younger cat, right, who's got a position, and he's out of order, right? So, and these are all tests that the Most High has set up. What I understand is this guy was in the military, so he should understand order, okay? But there's that age thing, right? And really, it comes down to the Most High has to be ordering your steps, right? Because he can order your steps right out of the truth. And that's what we're looking at. And again, you can see this coming, the way a man talks. And then his time in. And by experience, let me say this. The real test starts when you get kicked out. It's easy to be in the camp, right? And it's easy to point fingers while you're in the camp and say things like affiliate camps and da-da-da-da, right? It's easy to do that. But when you get kicked out, then it's time to apply, right? The protocol, right? Lest you fall into condemnation. There's a protocol. And you can tell that this guy is not going to do what is necessary, right, for the Most High to be on his side. I believe it is this exact video, right, where he opens the camp. He goes around the elder apostles and elder bishops. He doesn't give double honor. He gives honor and glory, something like that, to the men that he's teaching, right? And it's very telling. But anyway, enough about him. It's about what you do. We're going to watch him and see what he does, and it's already pretty plain what he's doing. He wants to be the leader, okay, instead of taking the low road. And taking the low road will get you jacked up too. If the Most High wants you to be a leader, right, you got to step up and lead. That's the other side. That's the balance, okay? But you got to You have to grow. You have to come in as a newborn, right? So you might have brothers that are, decades younger than you, and you got to fall in order. And you shouldn't, if you were in the military, you shouldn't have a problem with that. So your ambitions are not right. Okay, and I don't want to go on and on about this. I'm gonna just get some precepts, right? Because again, it's really about what you do after you get kicked out, right? Either you're gonna humble yourself and get yourself in. See, because order, right, starts with who? Starts with you, right? And the Most High gotta put the spirit of order on you, or you can put the spirit of disorder, that demon, right? And this guy's a demon. He's not going to humble himself and do what is right to survive in this thing. Okay. So anyway, let me get some precepts and try to keep it as short as possible. So anyway, this is First Corinthians. We all know this, right? But let's go over real quick. First Corinthians 14. We all know this, but people just blow by it, right? And don't even understand. I'm sure this guy thinks, right? Let all things be done decently and in order. Everybody knows that, okay? But you just blow through it. That's basically a commandment, right? The ordinances of the Most High. That word ordinances is order. You can just blow right by it and have no intention. Don't even contemplate what it actually means. There is order in the military, okay? And you learn after you've been in that. You get a second lieutenant come in, right? And he's already over all the enlisted, and you got to listen to this kid, right? Who may not know what the hell he's talking about. Get you all killed. You still got to listen. You got to. Hey, that's your lot. Get in there. And it's probably a bad analogy, but let all things be done decently and in order. That's number one. Okay. Number two, let's go with Philippians, because this is when you get kicked out, right? There's either two ways to go. That's out or hang. All right, hang tough. This is Philippians 2:12, a mantra. Okay, because this goes to order too. Philippians 2:12, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, what does that mean? Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay? How do you do that? Okay? If you get kicked out, how do you work out your own salvation with fear and trembling? Well, guess what? You have to do now what you should have did in the beginning. Right? Let's get Sirach. And I'm doing this all on the fly. I did write down a couple of scriptures. Sirach 2. And it's just my 2 cents. Right? Because staying humble, man, you got to humble yourself. It all works together. All these attributes work together. How do you stay in order? You got to humble. If you humble yourself, it's a lot easier. What does this mean? Okay, let's start at the top. Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Okay, that's an admonition. Set thy heart aright. What does that mean? Set thy heart aright. Right? Well, your mind has to be, you have to understand this is not a game. This is about who we call God, or furthermore, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And there's nothing above that. So how do you set your mind right about the Most High? And constantly endure, make not hasten the time of trouble. Jump down to 6. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Now here's the point. Order, there's that word, thy way. This is what you have to do. You have to do this. You have to set yourself in order. What does that mean? What does that look like? Well, you got to humble yourself and understand that you got to lean not unto your own understanding. Okay? Your own understanding is, I'm older than you. You got to listen to that. That doesn't work. Okay? Order thy way aright. You have to do this. Okay? Now, before you can do this, guess what? The Most High has to do it. That's how you know, right? If you can say, well, wait a minute, I just fell on my face. I'm going to fall 10 times. This is one. Get up. Now what? After you get up and dust yourself off, now what? Well, you got to get yourself in order. Okay? It's on you. You have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to order yourself. Order thy way, right? Aright. Do things the right way. How? Order, right? You're not running this thing, right? Somebody else is running it. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and you're getting in the way. You're getting in the wrong way. And trust in him, okay? But the point is, order your way, okay? Now that's in Syria. Let's go to Psalm. Psalm 50. And it's lonely out here, you know. It's lonely. The brother of, I forget, the one that made Zakar, forget what his name was, the one that made the video that the old Apostle Aramov did his video on. Zakar, I forget his name. But he even said it. He's like, you get, you've been doing the work on your own, you get lonely, and there are weak moments. This is Psalm 50 and 23. Let's go to it. Let's get a couple of different ones up here. And to him that ordereth, there's that word, order. See? Ordereth his conversation aright. What is that conversation? What comes out of your mouth? What is filthy conversation? Breaking down the scriptures wrong. And to him that ordereth his conversation aright, right? Who rights his way, who orders his way rightly, okay? Well, that's talking about conversation. No, it's talking about how you walk, how you move, okay? Will I show the salvation of the Most High? See that? Here's how you make it. What are we? What is our desire? Salvation. What are we fighting for? For a place on that chariot. Okay. And what do you have to do? You, and to him that ordereth his way, who rights his ship. What does it mean to right your ship? Okay? You have to do that. Okay? And the only way you can do that is if the Most High allows you to do that. Right? And that's understanding. When you understand what is going on, instead of thinking you're running the ship, okay? You're tripping. All right? What do we want? We want the salvation. I will reveal to you the salvation of the Most High. If you do what? Order your way aright. And to him who rights his way, let's get this. Right the ship. What does right the ship mean? We're not going to find out with this internet. Probably. Okay. What is meant by right the ship? Right the ship meaning, we might be here all day. So I'll keep bear with me. Your ship, dude. You correct a process that was not proceeding properly. That's you. Correct a process that was not proceeding properly. Okay? If your ship is leaning to the side, right, you have to get it upright. That's what it means. This is not. It says literally to right the ship is to bring it back to an upright, right, vertical position. That means it was leaning to the side. To correct a bad, problematic, or otherwise troubling situation, you got to right the ship. Okay, when you fall, a just man falleth, what, 10 times? You got to right that ship. How do you do it? You got to get yourself in order. Okay, we get Psalm 50. I think we did. Okay, hey, you have to right the ship. Who rights his way? Okay, now you can't do any of that without the Most High. The Most High is the one that allows you or causes you to right the ship. And if you don't understand these things, you're barking up. You're wasting your time. Okay, so let's get Proverbs. It's already going long. 16. Proverbs 16. Yes. Deviseth his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Right? A man's heart devises his way. Let's look at a couple of these. Establishes, determines, directs. Okay? Decides where he will go. Right? So if you find yourself on the out, right, it's either your ass is out of there or you got some work to do on getting back in. Righting the ship. The Most High is the one that's determining that. So if you pick yourself up, right, after you've fallen, and you go right back to what you were doing, right, instead of taking heed to correction, you're doomed. Let's get a Psalm 37. Psalm 37. Just fucking quit.